Welcome back to the Schmidt's 100 Acre Woods. So shortly after I got the video posted about having the sawmill fixed, not too long after that we actually had another issue with it. So same situation, it would go down but wouldn't go, or it would go up but it wouldn't go down. So they've sent us another H-bridge. So this time the revision is at the bottom. It's kind of similar. Instead of having the 4 diodes that go across the ground specifically, they have 4 that go across, and with the way this PCB board is made, it's kind of hard to see exactly where all they connect, but it looks like it's across both the 12 volts and motor A and B. So hopefully this iteration will prove to be more effective long term. But obviously they're still doing some debugging and working out and getting issues, or having issues with these and trying to solve them as we go, or as they go. So this is the 4th or 5th one that we've had on this mill. So continue to work with them for any issues that we have, and trying to get it sorted out. So we're going to get this one put on and keep track of how long we have it, and it seems to be around the 7 to 8 hour mark is kind of what seems to be happening. And it should have to do with the MOSFET and the way that the motor driver works, and the amount of current going through is just burning that up, be our assumption. But without having a complete breakdown of the board, it's more difficult to kind of diagnose it. So we're going to get this one put on, see that they have done another iteration and have continued to try to get things fixed. So we'll get this one put on and see what effect it has, and hopefully it's the one that fixes it, because I know that, again, it's an issue that they've had over multiple lines that use the simple set and things like that. So we're gonna get this put on this evening and run it and see. While we're in there, we're gonna check some other connections just to make sure that we don't have anything else loose in there while we're replacing this. Okay, so I have future Nick here. So here is the MOSFET that obviously isn't doing very well. Obviously had too much current going through it. So we could tell as soon as we opened up the box that something had burned. On the other ones that we've replaced, we haven't had this issue. We've never had any evidence that, too much current went through something. Well, this is the first time that we had that. So you can see that Q6 there got way too much current through, and it could be just some discoloration from that one, but the ones around it obviously had looked like they've been heated up as well. So obviously one of the evidences of issues that we have with that H-bridge. So the other thing that we're working on is getting the laser mounted. So essentially the laser needs to be on the outside at the same level that the blade is, obviously, to be effective. So we're looking at putting it over here on this corner somehow, maybe getting a magnet to affix it. But with the way this door opens, it would always be in the way and kind of be an issue. And then this moves in and out. On this, we've already taken kind of the safety bar off the front, and it's just kind of help so you don't run into this piece here. And it does do a little bit of stabilizing back here on this piece, but it's pretty solid without it. Just a fixing point. But here they had a piece that basically mounted on that rode in. So we're going to kind of replace that and come up with a piece that goes there that the safety bar will go in, but then we can mount the laser to at this level. So if you look, that's going to be, once you tighten the blade up, it's going to pick it up just a little bit, but that'll be about the perfect level to put the laser at, and we can fine-tune adjust it. It should be a pretty stable spot. We'll have to see about opening this door. It may not clear, so we may still want to put it on like a magnet or something that can be easily removed. But from there we'd be able to run wires out of the way and then either put them with the fuel line that has another cable that goes across to that side, or see about feeding it through. There's some cables in here that feed around this U over to that side and get it in that box. So have a couple different options to get the stuff in there. So we'll be looking at that as well and kind of getting it put on. We start tearing into it this time. Just kind of a quick walkthrough. So H-bridge is right in here. So you have these two that you take off on the back, and then these two here that you take off, and then this unit here comes off, and then the H-bridge and everything is right under here to where you can get to it. So typically we blow this all off from the sawdust so you don't end up with sawdust down in. So I did a video in the past about kind of fixing this, so I went ahead and sped this one up. But essentially the H-bridge is bolted to the top of that, so you just have to run that off, unclip a couple connectors, take the 4 leads off the bottom, and then switch it over to the new H-bridge that we got. While we had this open, we were looking at the switches and some of the ground just to make sure we didn't have anything loose in there before we put the top back on. And again, there's just the 4 bolts that hold this on, so there's 2 in the front and then 2 in the back. So once we had it all fixed, we had this cant that had been sitting on the log mill since we had the issue last time, so we wanted to go ahead and get it milled up. So we were able to get some 4x4s milled up, and I think a couple of 2x4s. So the 4x4, or what we'll turn in the 4x4s, will just set off to the side so we can get another one cut off. Then there's enough room that we can get one more. And then we have the odd piece at the bottom, so we just set it off to the side and then stack all of our 4x's together so we can turn them into 4x4s. Here you notice you have to kind of be careful where you place clamps so you don't tilt things too bad or get things out of whack. So typically, since we didn't put any of the pieces up at the back because we wanted to cut all the way through, you have to put them pretty low. So just something to be cautious of if you're running the mill is make sure you're not getting any tilt in your boards, which will obviously cause the boards not to be square, but then also if you have multiple of them stacked together, they won't all be the same. So all this stuff we want to stack and sticker. It's going to be part of the grill pavilion, so we wanted to let it have a chance to dry and shrink up a little bit. So we stack and stickered it in the carport we have. We parked my car in the truck and just under cover. And then we go through and we bind it all down so that it doesn't warp. Quick wrap up. So obviously got the mill working, so just put the new piece in, got it going again. We'll see how long this one lasts. Hopefully it's a permanent solution. But here's what we're able to get out of that poplar tree. So this is kind of the bottom section of the one that we cut down here at the homestead, the second one. So that's one 10-foot section of it. We got 2 more of those and some smaller ones. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 4x4s out of it, and 2, 4, 6, 8 2x4s, and have a couple more we can get from over there. And we actually have another one there we'll put up that will cut. It just has live bark on both sides, so it's a little bit more difficult on the mill to get it, you know, in the 2x4s. But we put it under cover here just because it's supposed to rain, and we want these to dry out a little bit. So we did go ahead and sticker them. And I bought a banding tool on Amazon. I don't know, a couple months ago, kind of thinking that we'd use it for stuff like this. So we're actually going to try to band some of this together, just so that it may help prevent any warping that may occur. So we'll get that out and band all this together as well. So this is a banding tool that I got off of Amazon. So basically it uses friction with those rings instead of like the heat ones or the ones that just crimp. These seem to get pretty good reviews and will do what you want. So basically you put it through the center, and then there's kind of a couple U pieces, so you get it locked around one side, and then once you get better at this, you don't have to cut this off, so you don't have as much waste. But this is the first time really using it, so went ahead and kind of figured how much we needed plus some, and then just cut it off from the roll. Now I've gotten to the point where I can leave it on the roll and you don't have the additional waste, but this first go around just cut it off so you weren't contesting with that as well. But basically you do the same thing on this side, so you kind of make it go through the center, and then you get it around the little clip. Once it's around the clip, you can kind of slide it away. There's a little foot in the back that holds the bottom on the actual ratchet that's tightening it together. So you slide this piece through a cutter, and then around the piece that will rotate around to create the ratcheting, and then it just tightens it up.
That does just tighten the crap out of it, doesn't it?
So it seems to be pretty effective. So you can just push down, it cuts, and then you can pull it out from under, and it keeps it nice and tight.
But if you didn't cut that,
right, in theory you could maybe tighten it. And here what we're talking about is as the wood shrinks, it's not going to be tight. So you could, in theory, leave that tail longer so you could get the ratcheting piece back on there and tighten it down after things have shrunk. So here's doing the other side, kind of have it figured out, different point of view. Slide that piece through, get it through the little U shape. Here I kind of gotten figured out how much I needed and didn't cut it off the roll. So just set the roll to the side. It's kind of hard to show without having my hand in the way, but goes through. Okay, so you have the foot that's holding it in the back, get it through the cutter, get it through the ratchet. And you can see how it just spins that piece around and brings everything together. You have to make sure it doesn't pinch on the little metal clip.
you know what note we're looking for?
Right. And then you can cut, and then just pull that to the side. Thank you for watching the Smithers 100 Acre Woods. Hopefully this time we'll have the sawmill all fixed up, good to go. And hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. We'll catch you next time.